Good morning, students. We will continue with our miscellaneous exercise of linear inequalities chapter, and we will start here with sum number 7. From sum number 7 to 10, it is given we have to solve the inequalities and represent the solution graphically on number line, right? So the given inequalities are in one variable only. That means we will be representing the solution on the number line. So let us start with our solution. We are given two inequalities. That means this is the system of inequalities in one variable. So we will consider the first inequality here. It is 5x plus 1 greater than minus 24. So when we transpose 1 to the right hand side, we are getting 5x is greater than minus 25, which implies x will be greater than minus 5. So this is the first solution from the first inequality. And now if we solve the second inequality is given 5x minus 1 is less than 24. Now in this inequality, if we transpose minus 1 from the left hand side to the right hand side, we are getting 5x is less than 25, which further implies x will be less than 5, right? So we are having the solutions of both the inequalities. First is x greater than minus 5, second is x less than 5, and both the inequalities are strict inequalities. Okay, so now let us represent the solution graphically. That means we have to take the real number line. So let us consider our real number line. It will be minus infinity to infinity, and let us mark the points. So here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this is our plus 5 point. Similarly to the left hand side, this will be minus 5 point. Definitely so many till minus infinity, right? And now from the first inequality, we have all x greater than minus 5. So all x greater than minus 5, the inequality is strict. That means we are not supposed to include minus 5. So first solution will be from minus 5, and we have to go towards the right side because we need all the real numbers greater than minus 5. So all the real numbers to the right side of minus 5. So it will start from minus 5 till infinity it will go, right? Now the second solution, that means it is x less than 5. So here we have all the real numbers which are less than 5. So here we have 5 number on the positive side of 0, and we want all the numbers which are less than 5. So for this I will draw the line to the left side of 5 towards minus infinity, right? So both the points are not supposed to be included, minus 5 and 5. So that is the reason I have put here hollow circles, not the solid circles. Solution should be the combined solution for the system, right? We are given the system, so it will have the solution which is common to both the inequalities. So we will see, as we have done in 6.3 exercise, where we were given system of linear inequalities in two variables. There also we checked the region which is common to all the drawn lines. We were saying like that is the solution region. Similarly here on the real number line, the portion which is common to both the solutions, that we will mark. And here if you just notice, the from minus 5 to plus 5, we are having this region which is common. So what we will be saying then, so this is our solution region, and we will just shade it. So you can use one pencil and means your lead pencil to draw the solution, to draw the number line, to take the arrows for both the inequalities, and the common region you can shade with the pen just to distinguish it. So this will be our solution region. That's it, right? So this is sum number 7. Sum number 8, 9, 10. The remaining 3 sums we will be doing the same way. But let us do one more sum. I am selecting here sum number 10. So let us discuss sum number 10 now. we have in sum number 10, system is given, we have 5 into 2x minus 7 minus 3 times 2x plus 3 less than or equal to 0. This is the first inequality. And second is 2x plus 19 less than or equal to 6x plus 47. So we are given two inequalities. We will solve them one by one. So let us do. We will consider the first inequality. It is 5 into 2x minus 7 minus 3 times 2x plus 3, which is less than or equal to 0. So let us solve. Here we have 10x minus 35 minus 6x minus 9 less than or equal to 0. So 10 minus 6, we will have here 4x minus, and here we will get 44 less than or equal to 0. So minus 44, when we transpose to the right side, what we will get here, 4x is less than or equal to 44, which implies x will be less than or equal to 11. So this is the solution from the first inequality, that we will have all x less than or equal to 11. Similarly, we will solve the second inequality. And the second inequality is 2x plus 19 less than or equal to 6x plus 47. So let us just transpose the elements from left hand side to right, and 47 we will transpose to the 19 we can transpose to right, and 6x we can transpose to the left hand side. So we are getting 2x minus 6x less than or equal to 47 minus 19. So here we got minus 4x less than or equal to 47 minus 19. So 47 minus 19 will be 28. Okay, and when we divide both sides by minus 4, we are getting x will be greater than or equal to minus 7. So this will be our solution of second inequality. So from the first inequality, the solution was x less than or equal to 11. So I am writing here, so we have all x less than or equal to 11 and x greater than or equal to minus 7. So again we will represent the solution on the real number line. So here we will take our real number line from minus infinity to infinity. Let us mark the point 0. We can do, if I combine this result like that, so x is all greater than or equal to minus 7 and it is less than or equal to 11. So if I just mark here, that's minus 7 somewhere lying here and plus 11 somewhere if I mark here, and I can say the solution, that means the graphical representation of the solution will be this. So here if I just join these 2 points, since less than equal to greater than equal to, so these are slack inequalities, that means we can include, or we have to include, the endpoints also. So we will put here solid circles, okay, and we will just shade it and we will say this is the solution region, right? You can do this way also, just combine the result from both the inequalities and that thing we can represent on the real number line. That is also the way to do it. Okay, so sum number 7 and sum number 10 we have discussed. Sum number 8 and 9 I am leaving for you people, you can do them. Now we will discuss here sum number 11. Sum number 11 is given like this. It is given a solution is to be kept between 68 degree Fahrenheit and 77 degree Fahrenheit. So solution to be kept between 68 degree Fahrenheit and 77 degree Fahrenheit. That means I will use here the symbol, means it will be the strict symbol, right? It is between, so I will say it will be between 68 degree Fahrenheit to 77 degree Fahrenheit. This thing is given. What is the range in temperature in degree Celsius? It's if the Celsius and Fahrenheit conversion formula is given. So we are given that Fahrenheit is equals to 9 by 5 C plus 32. For this thing, the range is given. We have to find the range for C. That means if I have to keep the solution in the what will be the range if the solution to be kept between for the degree Celsius. That's it. So this thing is given. So we will just substitute the value here. So we will write down as given. It will be 68 less than 9 by 5 C plus 32 less than 77. Now we will solve it, okay, as we have done our first 6 sums. So first of all we will just subtract 32 throughout. So it will be 68 minus 32 less than 9 by 5 C less than 77 minus 32. So it will be 6 3 36 less than 9 by 5 C less than 45. Now 9 by 5 C, and we want to find the range for degree Celsius. So what we will do, we can multiply throughout by 5 by 9. So it will be 36 into 5 by 9 less than C less than 45 into 5 by 9. So here what we will get, our solution will be 9 into 4 36, 9 into 5 45. So 4 into 5 it will be 20 less than C less than 25. So the measure for degree Celsius, that means solution can be kept between 20 degrees Celsius and 25 degrees Celsius. So that will be our solution. Okay, so the range for the temperature in degree Celsius will be 20 degree and 25 degree. It is quite simple sum. I hope it is clear. One same example also you people have for the miscellaneous exercise. I think it is example number, let me tell you. Yeah, it is example number 19. So there also there the opposite thing is given. The range is given for degree Celsius and you are finding for Fahrenheit, right? So that example is also important. You people can do that as well. Now we will discuss the next sum number 12. So sum number 12 statement is like, a solution of 8% boric acid is to be diluted by 2% boric acid solution to it. So we are given 8% boric acid solution, okay, and we are adding 2% boric acid solution. This 8% and 2% means the strength of boric acid. Clear? The resulting mixture is to be more than 4%. Now what is the resulting mixture? Resulting mixture we are getting when we are adding the solution of 8% boric acid and we are diluting it by adding 2% boric acid solution, right? So 8% boric acid solution plus 2% boric acid solution is giving us the resulting mixture. The question is like that, the resulting mixture is to be more than 4% but less than 6% boric acid. So the total strength of the mixture should be more than 4% and less than 6% boric acid. That means the final solution. If we have 640 liters of 8% solution, so we are given the the measure of 8% boric acid. How much we have? 640 liters of 8% boric acid is given. How many liters of 2% solution we will have to be added? So how much 2% boric acid solution we are adding to dilute it, that we are supposed to find. So first of all, what we will do here, let us write down the given part. Given is we have 640 liters of 8% boric acid solution, right? Okay, this thing is given, and 2% boric acid solution to be added to dilute it so that resulting mixture should be less than 6% boric acid, and it should be more than 4% boric acid, right? So this thing we have to find how much or how many liters of 2% boric acid we have to add. So what we will do, we will take let x liters of 2% boric acid solution to be added to 8% boric acid solution. So this thing we are adding x liters of 2% boric acid solution to 640 liters of 8% boric acid solution, right? So the resulting mixture, what we will have then, we will write down. So resulting mixture, how much we will get? Already we have 640 liters. To this we are adding x liters. So this will be the total volume of the mixture. That means 640 liters plus x liters. So that will be the total measure, right? Now the question says to 8% boric acid solution we are adding 2% boric acid solution in such a way the resulting mixture should be more than 4%. So this is the resulting mixture, right? So according to the question, what we will write down here, it is now 8% of 640, and here we are adding 2% of x liters. It has to be greater than 4% of the total. What is total? Total is 640 plus x. Okay, this is the first condition, and from here we are getting our first inequality as well. Second, we have that 8% of 640, and here if I add 2% of x, it should be less than 6% of the resultant mixture, that is 640 plus x. We are given now these two conditions, and these two conditions are giving us two inequalities, which if we solve we will be able to get the value of x, that how much x should be added, right? So let us do. When we remove the percentage sign, I hope we will you people know we will divide it by 100. So it will be 8 by 100 into 640 plus 2 by 100 into x. It is greater than 4 by 100 into 640 plus x. So throughout, if you notice, left hand side and right hand side both are having 100. So throughout means if I multiply by 100 it will get cancelled. So we have 8 into 640 plus 2x is greater than 640 into 4 plus 4x. I am not multiplying because 640 on both the sides we have. So if I just club the terms, we can do our calculation in the easy way also. Now after this, what we will do, we will just transpose our terms, right? So 2x if I take to the right hand side and 640 into 4 if I take to the left hand side, we will be able to get the answer. So we will get here 8 into 640 minus 4 into 640. Okay, it is greater than 4x minus 2x. Now I hope you are getting 640. If I take common, it will be 640 into 8 minus 4, right? So let us do our calculation. I am taking it to the next page. So we will get then 640 into 8 minus 4 is greater than, we were having 4x minus 2x, so it will be 2x. So 640 into 4, that means 640 into 4 is greater than 2x, that means x is less than 640 into 2. So x will be less than 0, 8, 1, 2. So this is the first solution from the first inequality. And we have the other inequality, we will write down also. The other inequality was like 8% of 640 plus 2% of x. It should be now less than 6%. I think 6% only, yes, 6% of the resultant. So 640 plus x. Now when we remove the percentage sign, we will get here 8 by 100 into 640 plus 2 by 100 into x. It is less than 6 by 100 into 640 plus x. The same way we will get here 640 into 8 plus 2x less than 640 into x plus 6x. Once again, if we just transpose the terms, we are getting here 640 into 8 minus 640 into 6 is less than 6x minus 2x. So here we will get 640 into 2 is less than 4x. That means x will be greater than 640 into 2 divided by 4. Okay, so here what we will get then, x is greater than it will be, I think, 6. If you just cancel it, 6 1 1 8 2, so it will be 3 2 and 0, right? So this is our second solution. So what we are getting here, from the first solution and second solution, if I combine, we are getting, we will write down, so from 1 and 2 we have x will be greater than 320 but less than 1280. So what we will say, that the number of liters of 2% boric acid solution that must be added, that to be added in the solution should be or must be greater than 320 liters but less than 1280 liters. So that conclusion you people must write in the words, that 2% boric acid solution which is to be added in the mixture must be more than 320 liters but less than 1280 liters. That's it. So this will be our solution. Similarly, you people will do the next sum where we have how many liters of water will have to be added to 1125 liters of 45% solution of acid, so that the resulting mixture will contain more than 25%. So if you try on the same way, you will be making the inequalities and solving, you are getting your answer. So that will be your next sum. I think which sum it was, sum number 12 it was, and yes, so sum number 13 you people will be able to do then. Now we will discuss the last sum. I will just give you the hint for the last sum and you people will be able to do that as well. So sum number 14 statement is like, IQ of a person is given by the formula. So to calculate the IQ of a person, the formula is mental age divided by chronological age into 100. Mental age, chronological age means the numbers that we calculate, and mental age is the other age that we calculate with the help of some other techniques like scientific ways. So it is given where MA is the mental age and CA is the chronological age. If IQ lies between 80 and 140 for a group of 12 years old children. So what is given also? Given is IQ is lying here 80 and 140. So it is IQ is greater than or equal to 80 but less than or equal to 140 for a group of 12 years old old children. That means the chronological age is given 12 years. We have to find the range of their mental age. So you have to find the range for MA. That means this CA is given. So CA value, if I just put here, okay, and I just keep the formula of IQ here, where IQ is lying between 80 and 140. So CA, if I substitute 12, MA you people can easily do. So we will get, as per question, we will get here 80 less than or equal to MA divided by CA into 100 less than or equal to 140. So here you will just put the value 12, and when you solve this inequality you are getting the range for the mental age. So this sum you people can complete it. I am leaving it for you people, and with this your exercise is over and your chapter linear inequalities is also over. So I hope you people will finish the work easily, and then we will discuss the other chapter. Thank you, students.